like that. But there's this boy. There's this boy. He doesn't live here anymore. He like lived in some apartment. Anyway, este muchacho, he's mexicano, nacido en México, vino aquí con su familia, se vino para acá, whatever. Y la primera vez que entré a su cuarto, lo que él tenía era una bandera americana. And I'm like, I mean, I don't care. It wasn't a big deal to me. You have whatever you want. I don't, you know, I'm just like, I mean, you're Mexican. And this is not like he had both flags. He just did not have. He's very Americanized, but he's not.
But he's not Americanized
at all. Like, I mean, he's Americanized, but it was just like you. O sea, lo mexicano no se le va a quitar nunca, you know. Pero lo que él idoliza, it's the American flag. And
so he grew up in Mexico and then came here?
He grew up there. Well, he didn't like all his life grow up in Mexico, but yeah, he came here. O sea, de una edad, you know, maybe like the same, like how I went to Nicaragua, 10. Okay. But his situation, you know, I mean, of course, the situation, whatever, the kind of situation that his family had here in the States was probably a lot better than the situation that he had over there. But he was just like I could not understand, and he got a little bit offensive. I wasn't, because I asked him why he had the flag. Like, why don't you have a Mexican flag? Why don't you at least have both of them? Or why is it just, you know, U.S. and he's just like, he's completely grateful to this country, completely grateful, you know, how whatever situation his family had. But it was weird because I'm like, but how about all these like other people that you live around and you're seeing how much like people here have had to struggle and for no reason, because we shouldn't all be struggling in that way. I mean, I didn't struggle that much, but you know what I mean. And it's just weird to hear how like you wouldn't want. You know, and he's an educated boy. He knows everything that's going on. He understands everything that's going on. He's had the classes that we have here. He takes the same classes that I'm taking. But like for somebody to say like, I don't want the United States flag, and then to have somebody that is also very aware of all the situation and what the United States listen to, like all these countries, and having this different feeling about it. Like,
and you think that that attitude of being grateful and putting, you know, and display it in such boldly way without even representing another identity, you know, part of his other identity. It's like what do you make out of it? What do you think it comes from?
I just don't understand it.
But it bothers you to some extent.
It does. Well, of course it bothers me because I don't know. It's okay for him to have it. You know, like I was trying to explain to him, like I don't, o sea, hace lo que querrá. Pero it bothers me because, and it's like a curious situation because he's like, would be one person that would tell me like, you know, like we all have the same opportunities kind of thing. And I know that he knows that we don't.
So, he's one of the persons that who was likely to.
He's most likely to.
So you know it comes from a set of ideals that he has that are a little bit more conservative.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's very strange to me.
Because you think of considering like what he's come from, that he shouldn't be
like that. He shouldn't. And his mentality should be very different.
No, I think that you are identifying where you're basically, the way you are interpreted in is because the flag to you represented, I am a conservative. You know, and I'm talking about the whole beliefs that come with, you know, como el chino ayer, if you don't wear this.
No. But I don't, not that he was a conservative, like that's not what it represented to me. It was just,
it's the lack of the Mexican representation.
It was just, like almost like a shame.
Yeah, but this is the thing. But you making that assumption. That's because you're making that assumption, and you're making that assumption based.
Felt.
Yeah, based on because he's likely to be that type of person. Because I don't know, I tell you that if you're a person who recognizes that, but you don't feel like, look, this country has treated me good. I've been proud of being my country the whole time, and I'm still proud of it. I don't need to hang a fucking flag to show it.
Well, why do you have to have but because I think like that mentality is kind of weird, no? Like if you were
it's weird because you're a Latina seeing a Mexican posting a flag. Because if it would have been a gringo in Nicaragua, in his room, posting a Nicaraguan flag who has been living there for a long time, I don't think you will see it as such a bad thing. And we don't. We Latinos don't, because we love when people embrace our culture. We love it.
They love when
we love it. We love it when people embrace our culture.
They love representing your instruments.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
And we see it as normal.
Exactly. And we say that's a good thing, that's a great thing.
Right. And that's remember what I told you? It's okay to share that, to share your culture, to share what you guys have. I just contradicted myself with what I said all the
No.
time. Well, what I'm saying, I completely agree with you, because if I have met people like exactly with, the same story as me. And actually, when I went to Philadelphia, this guy who had the same story as me, came here at 6, hasn't met his dad, and lives in, I think he was from Texas, doesn't speak Spanish, like doesn't even understand Spanish. And I'm like, we were here at the same age. Do your parents speak Spanish? Yes. So how do you not understand it? He's like, I understand it a little bit. And he was barely learning about the whole like food justice, environmental justice, and all that. And I'm like, where did you grow up? He grew up in Veracruz, en un rancho de Veracruz.
So how did he grow up in Veracruz and not speak Spanish?
Well, he grew up here. No, he was completely right, because I asked his instructor that we were friends. But what happened was that his intentions when he came here was to completely assimilate to this country, because his parents were like, this country is better, so you have to be better than us.
Yeah, and that's what parents do a lot of times. That's the
and that's when you come in. It's like a mejorar la cultura. It's like we shouldn't be doing that to our kids, because we have a good cultura. We have our roots in us. So when you say that, I think a lot of the parents like mentality also gets in us, because I used to think the same thing. I mean, I look at my cousins in Mexico, like they're married to narcos, they're married to like all this, random ass men, and I'm like, I'm very thankful that I'm not there. I'm in college, and so I can agree with you, but at the same time, question it.
It's just very difficult for me to not to understand it. I understand what he's talking about. I get it. It's just very hard to accept
it.
Yeah,
that's because I'm the same way.
Latinos that are very like.
Es que I feel like to some extent you will be justified to have a feeling that it's something because it's something you don't agree with, right? Because if it comes from a set of ideals that say, you know what, because a lot of people do this because they feel less as Latinos, as Mexicanos, Peruanos, lo que sea. They feel we come from a third world country. United States, the land of opportunity, and that's bad. You shouldn't have that type because it's a problem of self-esteem. It's a nationalistic self-esteem, low self-esteem that you have. If it comes in, it's completely justified. But I think that intentions is really important, and where those actions come from. So if he did it because he has those problems of low self-esteem when it comes to where he's from and his roots, then you are justified to feel that you don't agree with it and whatever, feel bad about it. Pero if it's because somebody comes from a place of, look, I'm very patriotic, I love my country, he has really no issue of self-esteem or no issue of identity or nada por el estilo, tratar de assimilate or whatever, then you could say, look, I'm gonna put this in my room and I'm gonna hang an American flag, even though, that's what my personal beliefs of why I think the national flag, the flag represents. But if he does that because he comes from a feeling of gratefulness, pero in a healthy way, emocionalmente, está bien.
But you can't, I feel like the way that I understood was he's grateful, but he doesn't feel like he has any reason to be grateful to his country. Exactly.
So he has issues of low self-esteem, and so in that sense, it's cool. I understand you.
And it sucks. Well, and I feel like it sucks even more for Mexicanos to feel that way because there's so much history. The only reason that you're not grateful for your country or to your country is because of the United States.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I mean. So you're having the same problems I am.
Why do you have this flag up?
Right.
No, I mean, I understand why you're being grateful. Superficially, I understand it. You personally, your life, okay. But if you're grateful to the United States because of what it did for you personally in your life, and you're ungrateful to your country, or or you have this tension con tu país, especialmente con México, pienso yo. You really are. It's weird for me because you are coming from a country that before the United States was ever a part of it was probably perfectly fine.
Exactly.
Any issues that are happening to your country is because of the United States. So the people that have to come here and the people that feel the same way that you feel is because of the United States, not because of their country, not because of Mexico, not because of Nicaragua, not because of Guatemala, because of the United States.